everyone. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to talk about 3 ways that we can accept life and reorient ourselves today. I turned 27 on February 14th, and I realized that there are lots of things that no longer resonate with me, that I no longer do, and that I want to focus on in this new year, especially on this Rewire and Refocus journey. The first thing is travel, and that we all need to travel on our own terms, whether it is for ourselves or for someone else, for a company. We need to do it on our own terms. Now, I'm going to use travel in the literal sense of you're getting in a car or on a plane or on a train and you're going to a new location and you're going to be there for a few days and then you'll come home. I have personally been on quite the travel journey this past year and these past few years. I've driven thousands of miles, flown thousands of miles, and have spent maybe 2 or 3 days at home the past 3 months. So being on the road is something that I'm quite used to, but a lot of people are not. A lot of people do the same thing every single day, and they're not importing these new experiences into their life. And the thing that you can do with experiences is learn from them, but you can also import them into your life, regardless of if you're just going to your job and coming home and going to the store and seeing your friends once in a while. We have to travel in our own life to understand that there is a bigger world out there, there's more perspectives to be seen, and that each one of those is going to matter as much as we allow them to matter. Travel teaches us about ourselves, and having been on the road, I've learned that it is not the car can be replaced, the bed can be replaced, the clothes you can wash them somewhere else, you're gonna eat food somewhere, you're gonna entertain yourself in some capacity, you're probably not gonna watch as much TV or even read books because your time is going to be dedicated to something else. And every time I shift out of what I consider a normal routine, and at this point, what normal is to me is foreign and I get to start over. And that's really the great thing about travel is we get to start over constantly when we do that. We realign with what actually matters and what doesn't. And if those things that we're constantly seeking stop mattering, what takes its place? If I don't care what car, what bed, what clothes, food, what store I go to, then I suddenly have to evaluate what does matter, and a lot of the time that has to fall on the people that you surround yourself with and the experiences that you're choosing to have. So whether you travel constantly or you travel once a year or you travel once every 10 years, who are the people that you surround yourself with and what experiences are you engaging with? The people that you are around are going to affect your mood, your desires, your goals, the things you want from life, the things you don't want from life, the things that you do in your free time, how much you're drinking, how much you're eating, where you're going. These people are going to influence every single one of these topics. And if you don't have an idea of what these should be, they're going to influence it even more because the stronger personality or the person who has made a decision is going to be the winning factor. Now, to travel so much, I am much more likely to be willing to let somebody else decide what we do or where we go or what we eat because I'm pretty whatever-ish to all of it because I know I'll have another experience that will matter more or matter less, and at the end of the day, it's just food, it's just a movie, it's whatever. But you have to accept that you are the one who decides who has access and who doesn't. And that a person, an experience, can stop having access to you as quickly and for as little reason as you decide to. There's going to be people that you meet on the road. There are going to be strangers in the bar, in the restaurant, at work that you're going to have to interact with. And you get to decide who gets access to you. When I'm on the road, I don't have any of my personal items past some clothes and maybe a book. But what I do have is all of my stories and all of my time and all my experiences, and I allow people to interact with that as I see fit. And there have been plenty of people that over the travel that I've had to do for this current job that I'm at that have been given access at a higher level than other people, but that access has had to be revoked as well. If somebody starts acting weird, if they start not telling you things, if they are removing themselves from wanting to be there for you, if they're not sharing, then that person no longer gets access to you in the way that they once did. You don't have to have many reasons. You don't have to have a real explanation. You just have to revoke that accessibility to you. And though travel is about creating experiences, creating access to yourself to view the world, you get to decide when and where that access ends. And the person that I am today is very different on what information is shared to other people versus who I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I used to care very deeply, very quickly, and to share just as much. And in the end, the only person that hurts is me, because I gave too much to a person who did not deserve that kind of access to my life, and I have to accept that I'm the responsible one. That doesn't mean that people can't hurt me, or that you're not going to feel at a loss at times too, because you did trust someone and you had reasons to. But if that person breaks that trust, you get to decide to limit your interactions and to forgive yourself for not knowing. You can only do what you can with the information that you have. And the second that person changes their behavior or their attitude or how they're behaving, that's not your fault, and you have to accept that. So you're traveling through life, you're experiencing life, and you don't get to choose how the person at the hotel is going to act. You don't get to choose how good the food is when it comes out. You get to choose how you react to all of it. You get to choose what clothes you're going to put on, how you're going to feel, and how you're going to continue to allow people to make you feel. There's certain people that I no longer want to have access to my life and to me, and that's not just the people that I've worked with, but it's other people in my life, and that is a decision that I get to make. And every year at my birthday, I want it to be a come back to center moment. Put everything back into perspective. Who is on this journey with me and for me, and who has these comments that are trying to cut me down? That I'm only there when it's convenient, or I'm the joke in these situations. Where do I fall into these relationships, and is that the position that I want to be in? Do I want to feel like I am being lied to or being deceived? Probably not. But we're continuing to allow people into our lives because we feel that time means something, that because we've known someone for a long time, that we should continue to know them. And at the end of the day, time does not equal respect or love or care or want for you to have a better life. If somebody does not get that you are a person of privilege and have a amazing life and that they feel privileged to be in your life, then they don't need to be there. And we are the only ones who get to decide that. And if we're not deciding that, then other people are using our time and telling us what to do and what not to do, and we feel at a loss. And when I'm traveling, there is a lot of times where I feel like I just need some time alone and I need to evaluate what's going on. And sometimes you don't have the ability to do that while you're on a trip. But when we are living our day-to-day life, we have to take those moments and step back and say, how do I actually feel after talking to this person? What did they say that I had to think about? What did I want to share but didn't because I didn't feel like it was the right environment for me? What decisions are they making about their life that you don't want to have purview to? There are people in my life who say one thing and then do another. And of course, we all do that to some extent. But when they're making huge life-sweeping decisions that they were very against a few months back, and they're settling for something because they feel like they're getting old and there's just nothing better, and why try? Is that the type of environment that I want to be in? Do I want to be around people who are like, well, I've been with this person for 3 years and I'm old now in my 30s. So what, am I just gonna leave? Do you want to be around people who are just settling into decisions because they feel like they have nothing better to do. They're making choices that they disagree with, but they're continuing to do so because other people are, or it's easier. Whoever we choose to be around, we are becoming like them, whether we want to or not. You are the sum of the people around you, and it's also the sum of the things that you most interact with. So if the people that you're around aren't a great influence, how are you offsetting that with the books that you read and the shows that you watch and the podcasts that you spend time with? How are you creating an environment that is nurturing you and the person that you want to be? If you're around people who are just settling for things, don't know where they want to go, and have no real direction that they're trying to figure out, if they're upset about something or complaining all the time, or you're at work and everybody hates their job and hates their family and you're constantly surrounded by that, how are you supposed to stand up and be like, I am going to go after running a marathon or writing a book or creating a business or reading a book a week or getting better at trivia by learning by watching all these movies or experiencing things? How are you supposed to do that if every person in your life is saying, you know what, I'm just gonna settle for this guy that's not very nice to me and I don't really like and I'm not attracted to because, well, what else am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to go out there and potentially get hurt or be single. Why? He's already there. Or how am I supposed to make enough money to go and live this new life? I don't have a good paying job. How am I supposed to save up enough money and go after my dreams? Or I have all this money. I don't have to work for anything. Why shouldn't I just chase guys? Now, these are all scenarios that I've experienced with friends in the past few months, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't see this as being productive for me in the sense that I want to move forward. I want to keep growing. I don't want to stay at one job or do one thing. I have a purpose that I want to pursue, and if the people that I'm giving my time to have nothing that they're pursuing, then that's what I'm going to be doing too. And if I'm going to live in this life and in this world, I have to do it on my terms and revoke access to people who aren't trying, who aren't going for things, who aren't interested in becoming better. Because if they're not, that's easily going to be the thing that I default to. And that's where I was a few years ago as well. Looked at all the people I was around and I'm like, you guys aren't going after anything. There aren't dreams you're trying to accomplish. There aren't things that you're trying to do. You're just kind of there and you hate everything and you hate yourself and you hate everyone around you. And of course I was in a bad mood all the time and I was stressed and I was giving too much to a job that didn't care about me, and I don't want that again. And now I'm much more willing to look at the signs and be like, I remember what it was like after I lost my job and everybody I knew stopped talking to me, and how alone I was and how much I had to rise from that. And nobody was there to push me along or to motivate me or to whatever. I had to self-decide that I wasn't going to stay there and that those people no longer were going to get access to me. And now it has to be a lot easier to cut people off because I'm not interested in being in the same place that I was last year. So if I want to get to a better place in a year from now, 6 months from now, I have to remove the people who are holding me back, who I have to think about what they said or question how much time I'm giving them or what decisions they're making or how that decision is also affecting me. I went to visit a friend and that guy that she's choosing to stay with was there and it affected the trip that we had. And now she wants to continue to be with him. That's her decision. And that's fine. But I cannot be involved with that anymore. And travel has taught me that the only thing I get to control pretty much on these trips, if they're for work, if they're for even for my own enjoyment, there's still things that I can't control. The only thing I can control is who I give my time to. I don't have to go to that restaurant again. I don't have to stay in that hotel again. I don't have to talk to that person again or as often because they're not feeding me. They're not nourishing me. I'm not enjoying the conversation, and I can't reach out to them when I need someone. So how are we these close friends if I can't actually depend on them? So if I'm going to travel, I'm going to do it on my own terms. And I'm going to travel in my life every single day of my life. I want to show up with excitement for this new place and this new restaurant, no matter where it is that I'm going. Even if it's to the restaurant that I go to all the time, I'm going to try something else. If it's to the movie theater that I always go to, I'm going to try a new popcorn or new soda that I haven't before. I can import newness into my life constantly. And I can feed that desire to learn and to grow and to learn more about myself. I can try a new item at a restaurant that I haven't before, and that could be my new favorite thing. But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't try it. And so I can recreate this place that I always go to by just picking something else. And that's what travel really has taught me, is I get to pick something else. And I get to do it again if I didn't like that last thing, and I don't have to go back to that last thing if I didn't like it. And that's true for the people, for the experiences, for the clothes. I decided I don't want to wear these clothes anymore. I'm not going to. I'm going to go and buy a new outfit, or I'm going to style this outfit differently than I ever have before, because I'm going to travel in my life and understand that I'm in control. So that is the first thing that I'm really deciding to take with me. Second thing, they made their choice and now it's your play. They made their play and now you get to. At the end of the day, people are deciding all around us what they're going to do. People are choosing the partners that they want, they're choosing the jobs that they want, and you have to function under the belief that everybody is actually living the life that they want. That friend who's with that shitty guy who she's been with for years is actually not in that bad of a place because she's still there. And you have to accept that because that person is gonna stay there. They're gonna be in that situation until they decide to not be. And if you are asking them questions, if you're pushing them to be like, but you don't want to be here, every time you talk about him you're upset, or it feels like you're settling, why are you doing this? They're gonna get resentful. They're gonna be like, why are you yelling at me? Why are you saying this? And it's like, whoa, I'm trying to help you. I am setting aside time for you to think about you instead of thinking about myself right now, and you're yelling at me for that? You're upset with me for that? Why would you do that? Why would you spend this one life, this precious time on somebody who could care less about your opinions on something? So we have to let go of this idea that we can save people, that if we have enough conversations that they're going to make better decisions. And there's friends that I repeated the same advice for years and they stayed with the same guy until they finally ghosted them. Until that guy finally ghosted her, she did not walk away. And she walked away because she had no other choice. So at the end of the day, I spent all of these years sharing advice for what? For someone to not do anything until that other person made a decision for them? I gave and I gave, and it didn't change anything for them. And yet, when my life flipped upside down, when I needed somebody to listen, these people were kind of there. There wasn't any grand advice. It was like, oh, they'll figure it out. That sucks, but yeah, you got this. There was no do this, and this is how I got through this, and this is how I apply for jobs and all of it. No. There wasn't any of that. So why am I extending into all of these people, all of these things that they're not actually even using? Why not put all that energy back into myself? They made their choices. They decided who they were going to be and who they were going to spend time with, and it wasn't me. So I'm going to spend that time on myself. Everybody else gets to make choices for their own self, and we can't fault them for that. And if other people are trying to fault you for your decisions, if they're telling you, oh, you shouldn't do that because you're not interesting enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, with all due respect, who are these people at the end of the day? If a person is truly there for you, they wouldn't be telling you these things. So it sounds like there's an enemy in the gate. There's an enemy in your surrounding vicinity. They're telling you that you can't do it. They're telling you that you're not worthy. Why are they in your life? We have to revoke their ability to step into our lives and offer us advice. We have to decide that we are better because we have gotten here. We're better not for all of the things we did or didn't do, but because we got through it. And those people made their choices. They made their bed. They're going to lie in it. You get to do whatever you want with your life. You make the next play. And if the next play loses you the game, well, guess what? Every NFL season, every single sports event, every sports arena has many a games. And sometimes they have different games in the same arenas. At the hockey stadium, it's a hockey stadium one day, and then the next, they're singing at a concert. Everything is replaceable, and there's always another thing to happen if you just keep going. You're going to get to that next thing, but only if you give yourself the permission to do so. Permission means per my own mission. What is your mission? What are you going after? Who is it that you want to be? If you don't have answers to these questions, write them down. Nobody else is going to do this work for you. I can't break up with that guy on behalf of my friend. I can't quit that job on behalf of my sibling. I cannot make any choices in anybody else's life except for mine. So I have to make the plays in my own life that matter to me, that I find valuable, and I don't need anybody else to sign off on these decisions. If you are in a partnership or in a relationship where you do have to connect with someone else and you have to make decisions together, that's the person that you should be discussing things with and communicating with and sharing with. Those other people only get purviews into your life once you allow it. If you are deciding to build something with someone, that person matters, and you matter on top of all of that. People come and go into your life, but you will stay with yourself for the rest of it. I'm rereading Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights, and that is exactly what he says. It does not matter who you sleep next to, you sleep alone. And that you are the only one who can chase these green lights, who can make something good out of something that just hasn't been great. And at the end of the day, life is only lived forward, but it only makes sense looking backward. So you won't know why what you went through today happened until a year from now. And then in a year from now, you'll be dealing with something else that you'll be like, I don't know why I'm dealing with this. But that's okay. Life will unfold as it needs to, and you get to make the decisions to play by play whatever game you want. You want to play football or soccer or golf or whatever, you get to play it. But you have to learn the rules and you have to follow them. And you can win the game. You just have to get good at it. So get good at telling these people, you know what? I don't care about your opinion. I don't care that you don't like this person or this food or my diet, because it's not yours to choose or not. This is my life. It is your decision. Pick the game that you want to play, and you can change it, but you have to pick one. Your life is only going to begin on the other side of choosing. And let everyone choose whatever life they want, and live under the complete belief and understanding that every person in your life is living the exact life that they want. They're going on the vacations they want, they're hanging out with the people that they want, and if you are not made a priority, then that is very much how they feel. You are not a priority for them, and therefore, you shouldn't prioritize them either. It's okay if people don't like you. Most people don't even like themselves. Now, the third thing that I've learned over these many years is that you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know if in 2 weeks from now you're going to meet somebody who changes your life forever. But at the end of the day, you have to position yourself to get to that point. As much as the universe is unfolding and we're all learning and it's all changing for the best, you still have to put in the work to change yourself for the best. I'm in a better place than I was last year at this time because of the work that I put in. Because I did the meditations, I did the self-reflection, I put in the work to apply to new jobs, I found an apartment that I was going to live in, I moved states, I put in that work. And I was in a position where I saw that even after all this work, even after I got my next job and then the job after that, I was still allowing the same habits to take up my time and the same type of people. And once I finally cut that off, literally within a few days, I met people and I met a person who we clicked and we connected, and the rest is history. It's been going well. And that's the difference, is I put in the work to get myself in a position to do better, to feel better, to be better. And I was the one that did that work. And I have to be the one to continue that work on my own behalf so that other people are allowed to show up in my life the way that they are, and I get to accept it or not. And there was other people who also came into my life, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Look at all these people. But now I have to evaluate, like, who is it that actually wants to be there? Who is legitimately there for me? And who isn't? And that answer isn't easy to look at, but it is the work that you have to do. The universe, the world, every opportunity will place itself in front of you, but you have to be in the right place to see it. You could be missing out on great people in your life, great relationships, great friendships, because you are continuing to allow shitty people in your life who don't want the best for you. And if they claim that they do, but their conversations aren't helping you, you feel sad after, or you feel drained, it doesn't matter what they say, it matters how you feel. So until you remove those people from your life, you could be blocking all of these good things, because we have to make space for new things, and to do that, we have to remove things from our life. We have to say no to people who aren't there for us anymore, who aren't showing up for us in the way that we want to. That doesn't mean you have to stop talking to every person you've ever known overnight, but it means you need to realize, how much is this person actually adding to my life, and how much are they taking away? Because at the end of the day, if they're taking from you, it's a loss sum. And if you're thinking, well, I already know them for 10 years, well, all right, well, you don't need to know them for another 10, because you've seen what they have brought into your life. Has it been joy? Has it been excitement? Has it been growth? Has it been new fun adventures? Or has it been annoying conversations that you feel like you're repeating yourself, or you're questioning why they said that, or why they didn't say certain things, and you just feel uneasy? Don't allow people to make you feel lesser in your own life because of their behavior towards you. They don't deserve access unless it is continually granted. Somebody can have access, but once they aren't paying their dues, once they're not adding value, their access is revoked. Just like when you have a Netflix subscription. If you don't pay for Netflix that month, you don't get access to Netflix. If subscription companies that you pay $20 for a month can make these very clear-cut decisions, all right, you're done, you don't get access, then we can do it too. It doesn't have to be as drastic. You don't have to never speak to them again. But look at it from a different lens. How are you growing from this relationship? How is it adding to you? And if it's not, why is it there? Why are you wearing clothes that you don't like, that make you feel uncomfortable? Why are you reading books that you have to get through and takes forever because you hate it? This entire life is meant to be enjoyed. So if you're doing things that make you feel bad or upset, why are you doing it? And there are some things that we have to do. There's certain interactions that we can't avoid. But the ones that you can, your friendships, your relationships, the job you choose, maybe you can't quit today and have a new job tomorrow, but you can definitely make steps towards getting a new job. You can make steps towards making new friends or removing yourself from friends that aren't growing you. This is your life. You get to choose if you're going to be excited about it and be around people who make you smile and laugh and who are bringing in these new experiences. Or you can be around people who have been doing what they've always been doing. Being negative, being small, being stuck. That is the perfect recipe for settling. And if you want to live a big and beautiful life and enjoy the years as they're coming instead of dreading getting older, you have to make the tough decisions of removing situations and people and habits that aren't working for you. And as you start to step back and evaluate people and what you don't like about their behavior, it'll be a lot easier for you to also look at your own behavior and be like, you know what? I don't do this and I want to be doing this, but I'm spending all of my weekends hanging out with this person, getting drunk or eating too much, and I don't have enough energy the next day. I need to stop that because I have to prioritize myself. I'm 27 now. I'm not getting younger. And I do feel privileged that I get to get older. But it's up to me to decide what life is going to be in those years. What is life going to look like? And who is going to get to share that with me? People are going to want to be in your life and they're going to want to take as much as they can from you. But what are they giving in return? Are these people nourishing you or are they taking from you? And at the end of the day, you're the only one that gets to decide what that looks like. And you get to decide how much you're willing to take. But time does not mean anything if the time you spend with them right now isn't giving you what you need. And what you need will vary from year to year, from day to day. And that doesn't mean you cut everyone off. It means you need to prioritize yourself and what you want. Write it down. Get a journal. Put all your dreams there. Who's bringing you closer to them and who's taking you further away? We cannot outrun the people that are around us. We cannot create new experiences without moving certain ones out of the way. And it's okay. You can see your own birthday, a new year, a new day as your permission to start over. We can say, oh, we'll do it next year, the year after, but we don't know if we're going to get it. We don't know if 2 more weeks from now is going to be the end. And we can't live with that as well. But if we live every day as much as we can, the idea of it all coming to an end is going to be more okay because we've lived this life as we had it. And we're not going to look back 10 years from now and say, you know what? I should have gone on that trip. I should have cut off that person because all they've done is complain and go through these messy divorces and hate everything. And I've drugged them along and was there for them throughout all of it, and I have nothing to show for it. You don't need to have a million reasons to remove yourself from situations, to stop doing a habit. If you eat a food and you get sick after, you don't keep eating it over and over and over again just to prove that that's true. You don't have to keep talking to this person to prove to yourself that, yeah, you actually don't feel bad. If you eat something once and it made you feel bad, you don't have to eat it again. You eat it again and you feel bad again, hopefully you learned your lesson enough now. But we keep going back to the same experience, to the same person, and expecting a new one. It's not going to happen. Change isn't easy, but it is possible. Can't change your friends, but you can change your friends. And at the end of the day, we have to make changes and revoke access as necessary. There's plenty of people that reached out to me on my birthday that I no longer want to speak to, and that's it. I had to make that check-in. I had to reevaluate again. And we can do that reevaluation once a year, once every 10 years, or we could do it every day, every other day. We get to choose how much intention we are putting into ourselves and the life that we live and the choices that we make and the people we hang around with. Put on the clothes that you like. Be around the people that make you laugh. Go to the places that grow you as a person that you want to be at. And if you realize you actually don't like something, don't do it again. It's that simple. But it's a lesson that we all have to eventually learn, and hopefully you can take these lessons with you. They say age is a high price to pay for wisdom, and I hope that as I continue to get older, the wisdom comes quicker, but it's only going to matter if you apply those lessons. So this year, I hope to continue to cultivate relationships that bring joy to my life, and I end up going to the places that make me feel better about myself, and I make the decisions that I would be proud of come year end. I don't know where I'll be in a year from now, but I do know that I'm going to be in a better place if I make better decisions for me and for the life that I want to live. I have to honor myself and those around me by choosing what's best for me. So choose what's best for you. I hope you have an amazing week, and if your birthday is soon, I hope you have a very happy birthday. I'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.